Hello and welcome to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, which is our platform for leading experts from around the world. You are either listening to us on Business Talk Radio or watching on USA Global TV, and we are thrilled to have you. I am Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is Stories of Hope, Inspiration, and Overcoming Adversity. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I want to share a little bit of a story, the background of why I started this show. I was very much committed to having a platform where people could come forward and share the adversity that they had in their life and how they overcame it to inspire other people. So we started off with this one show, and we were just on the radio, on Business Talk Radio, as a telephone, and me connected to the host there in New York. And from there, we went on Zoom. And from Zoom, we went to StreamYard. And from StreamYard, we went from this one show to 18 shows a week. And that is all within a year. And now, as of January 10th, we are launching our official hard launch of USA Global TV. And our formatting is going to be even more exciting. So please do stay with us. We're really glad that you're on this journey. Our guest today is an incredible person. He's extremely accomplished. I just had the pleasure of meeting him very briefly backstage. He is a keynote and motivational speaker, an author, and a consultant. And his name is Fred. Let's hear more from him. Fred, welcome.
Well, hello, everybody. How's everybody out there all over? I guess it's broadcasting everywhere, I suppose, right? Great. Hi, everybody.
Yes, sir. We have a worldwide audience. So, Fred, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's pronounced KIENLE, but I tell everybody you can call me anything but late for dinner.
Well, you have a great attitude, and we discussed that briefly backstage as well, that it's all about attitude. So before we get into all of your wonderful accomplishments, I'd love to hear from you where you got this wonderful positive energy and how attitude became so important to you in your life.
Gosh, I always, as a kid, I always liked to tell jokes. I like to make people laugh. I like to entertain or, do something. I was always in school. I was the stupid class clown, but I always liked to make people laugh and feel good. And I always found out that people with a better attitude were, I don't know, they were just happier. They did better things. They were more interesting than the old, stick in the mud. Oh, golly, boring people. I thought, no, the attitude to me, since an early age, it was a gift from God, I guess. I don't know, but all through my life, I've just, as a musician, as a speaker, as a worker, anywhere I've gone, attitude has pulled me through so many good times and bad times.
Thank you for sharing that, Fred. And I know you've had a long history as a musician, and I see behind you, is that an electric piano?
Yeah, I got a piano over there, and my guitar is up front over there. And I love music. Music is an attitude builder. Music can change your mood. It can, you can bring you way down, or memories. I started before this COVID hit. I do a lot of seminars for seniors, a lot of assisted living homes and retirement communities. And I started doing a singles act again, just singing like a tribute to Elvis, a tribute to Buddy Holly, a Little Vegas show. And it's just such a joy to watch these seniors start singing along with you, remembering these songs. Even a lot of folks with dementia and have a lot of Alzheimer's, they start remembering things. Music is a fantastic attitude builder. So yeah, music has been part of my life for almost ever and still is.
Great points, Fred. I really agree with you. I just started taking vocal lessons, and just in learning how to do the breathing and about the feminine and the masculine side that you have to yourself, that's been quite a journey. And I think one thing that really connects all of us, is the fact that music can really bring out your passion. It can help you when you're feeling down. It can help you share a story about something that you've gone through. And we can all relate. We all can think of songs that we've heard somebody perform and think, oh my gosh, I remember that kind of happened to me. Or exactly. It creates a lot of wonderful shared experiences.
Yeah, after I did some of my concerts for these seniors, it's so wonderful to sit down, like their 80s and 90s, and some in their 100 years old, and they tell me, oh, I remember my husband and I were dancing, or we did this on that, or I remember I graduated from high school when I heard that song. And it evokes good memories. It can evoke sad memories, but sometimes those memories are brought back in a good way with music. They remember the good things about stuff. So music is, to me, is a positive motivator. Motivates
I
everybody.
agree. And congratulations on your seminars. I think that is really fantastic. In addition to music, what else do you share with your audience when you're meeting with the seniors?
Oh gosh, I started off with my main seminar for the seniors with health with an attitude, because I think your attitude about your health is so important. If you have a bad attitude, then I go and see these seniors. Let me kind of put this together. I would watch some of these seniors and people all through my life. The people that had a good attitude, even if they were in their 80s or something, they looked and acted like they were in their 30s, 40s, 50s. The people that were in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that had a bad attitude looked and felt, and they just felt like they were in their 80s and 90s. So attitude can have such an impact on a person's health. And I have a story that I tell about 30 years ago when I got hit with a very severe case of rheumatoid arthritis. And the doctors painted a horrible picture for my next couple of years. And this is 30 some odd years ago. They said, my body's going to be all messed up. I'll be hip replacements and I can get it all deformed and it's going to be miserable. And I told them, no, it's not. And I'm going to fight it with not only God and my Savior, but I'm going to fight it with my attitude. And that was 30 some odd years ago. I've had no hip replacements. I walk the dog. My wife has a honey-do list, 1,000 miles long. And yeah, so attitude is so important to your health. So that's the most important one I do. But I also love to do on Sundays, I love to do faith with an attitude, because your faith and your attitude go hand in hand. And then I did, I don't know if you know what, Prestonwood Baptist Church here in Dallas area. It's a huge church, a global evangelistic church. And I was their safety consultant for years and years, and I worked construction most all my life. Safety to me is so important, but it's not just about rules and regulations and OSHA. It's about your attitude and going home to your family and your kids and your parents and your friends with all your toes and your fingers, and God forbid going to the hospital. So accidents are very, attitude related. And then I do several others. I do one called Gratitude with an Attitude. I do even do one called Laughing with an Attitude. It's just like a stand-up comedian act. And I'm doing that one too. So.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. I would love to hear some stand-up today on this Friday afternoon.
Yeah, well, laughter is, to me, in health and everything, laughter is the best medicine there is. And I love making people laugh. And I found out through DNA, I'm 9% Irish, so that makes me a qualified leprechaun. And I love to tell stories with an Irish accent. They're always more funnier when you talk that way. I don't know why, but they are. So it's really and these seniors are so much. They're the best audience in the world. They're so giving. They're such a wonderful audience. So,
Fred, again, I just love your attitude, and I'm sure that I could sit down with you and listen to you for hours, just because you have so much experience. I know that you mentioned that you had met with Zig Ziglar, and you've graced many stages. But before we get into that, one thing I just want to touch on is, as we age as a population, I've heard this from different people that when you get to be a certain age that you don't need to take care of yourself anymore, and you don't need to go to the doctor, or you don't need to get exercise. I don't really think that's true. What are your thoughts based on all the people that you've met with?
well, like I'm really hooked in with the Ziegler family. They're such a fantastic group of people, and they meet every Monday morning, and anybody's welcome to go to. They have a Zoom. It's a Monday morning devotional. Zig started it over 30 years ago, and Tom Ziegler is keeping it going. And they're just a fantastic bunch of people, and there's just people from all over the world. And I try to stay around a lot of positive people. But when I get around the negative people, I guarantee you, I try to encourage them and bring them up. Because just like you said, I think there's a good majority of people that, as I'm 76, and as we reach those ages, things start, they don't work. I can't go, surfboarding anymore or whatever. But Your attitude and people around you is so important. And those people that are busy and just get up and move. If they sit there dormant and sediment and they just moan and groan and complain, then they usually aren't as healthy. But I think most people that I see in my age group, they're pretty they're good, doing good things. They haven't given up on their lives. They're busy, even though they're retired. They do things. So I appreciate the people that I know.
Absolutely. And we see people in government who are in their 70s. And I just saw the other day a woman 100 years old. She's a school crossing guard. It's amazing. And she said something similar. She's got this great attitude. And I think that that'll take us through a lot of things.
It is. It is. Yeah, I met a nurse. She was 104 years old. She was a nurse during World War II. And I met one fellow who was a pilot, and all these people, they have such a vast amount of energy still. Even some, they're in a wheelchair or they're on walkers or they have, issues, health issues and stuff, but in their 90s and stuff. But their attitude is what brings them up, and their eyes shine and they're bright, their memory's sharper, and they have so much to share. And it's such a joy to sit there and just talk to them, even those with dementia and a lot of problems with their memory. And because you can start talking to them, and all of a sudden you can hit one nerve and they'll unload with these wonderful stories of their life and what they've gone through. I call them my treasured seniors because they're just full of memories, attitude. They've gone through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and yet they're still here. They've gone through it and they're still here.
Yes, and I love hearing stories like that. Fred, you talked about the fact that you have these online seminars that you're doing for seniors, and I'd like to now turn the conversation to your work as a keynote and motivational speaker and hear about some of the wonderful talks that you've given and anything that stands out to you from your roles as speaker. What would you like to share about that?
Yeah, that's, I love, I always thought, I wanted to be like a musician way in the beginning. But what I really found out is I love being an entertainer and a sharer. I love teaching. And when I was working at Texas Instruments in Raytheon, I was able to become a Six Sigma expert, and I did a lot of teaching in ethics and safety. I did a lot of safety teaching. And those are things that are really important to me. And I found out, again, attitude is a core value of all of these things. And I love doing my safety with an attitude seminar, because, like I said, it's about a person's attitude and him. It's not about so much the company and rules and regulations. They're there to keep you safe, but it's about you going home to your family. And so safety with an attitude is a key one. I love doing that one anywhere. I do it for cities, police departments, churches. I do it for organizations, companies, corporations. And the latest one I've been starting to do, and I'm writing a book, and I'm on my 7th chapter now, is called Leadership with an Attitude. And the core value on that one is that I've been presenting to some companies is you don't have to be the boss to be a leader, because companies nowadays are really searching for every employee. I don't care if you're the janitor, you're the landscape operator, I don't care who you are, an assistant, a mechanic, you can be a leader in your field. And I've been having more fun with this Leadership with an Attitude seminar, because it's just an important part about people feeling, I'm just a cog in the wheel. I just mow the yard. Well, if you go to a company and their yard doesn't look good, and the front of the building and the lights don't work really good, you're not going to do business with them. Every employee is an important, integral part of the success of that company. And if your attitude is not right, it's not going to fly. And companies that are more successful have people that have better attitudes, and they are leaders in their field. I don't care if they're the janitor. They're leaders at being the best janitor they can be. And I love doing this one here lately, and I can't wait to finish this book.
I love what you're sharing. I worked in the corporate world up until last year when I retired from that. And our area of focus was employee recognition, a culture of recognition where everyone is valued, everyone's work is important, everyone is an integral part of the organization. Fred, I'm wondering, people might be watching now or on the replay and they want to hire someone as a keynote or motivational speaker. Are you available? And if so, is it in the Dallas area, or are you willing to travel to work with them?
Right now, I'm not doing a whole lot of traveling or live performances due to COVID. And I'm kind of seeing how this plays out. And probably January of next year, yeah, I'd try to stay in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, mostly because of my family. And but I travel pretty wide spectrum around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, to a couple of 100 miles or something like that. It's not too bad for me. I haven't been doing any flying or anything for a long time. But anyways, just yes, yeah, I'm very, very available, and I've been doing on a lot of Zoom conferences, and they've been working out very successful. So the people that have gotten a hold of me to say, yeah, could you come and speak to this? I'd say, well, can we do it via Zoom? And I set it up from my side, and it works out really well. And I love doing PowerPoint presentations. They're a lot of fun. They're not boring bullet points. They're a lot of fun, got a lot of graphics. And I break it up with a bunch of funny stories and jokes about every 7 minutes. Zig told me a long time ago, you're teaching something very serious, break it up every once in a while. Tell a story, tell a joke, get them laughing, and re-engage them and get their attitude back up, and they'll pay attention to what you're saying. And so I love doing this. So yeah, anybody can they can just send me an email, and I'll send them, what I do and how I do it and what it costs and what it takes. I love it. And I love doing it. I love sharing what I've learned and gleaned by a lot of mistakes, a lot of experience. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. And I love your passion. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, what I'd like to come back in on, you mentioned you're 76, I'm 58. Obviously, technology has changed so much. And I see more and more people embracing technology, right? We couldn't be doing this right now if it weren't for technology. And I'm wondering what you see when you meet with seniors, you meet with people who are older. Are they embracing technology, and how has it changed your life and changed their lives? And so we'll be right back, if that's all right with you, for that topic.
Well, yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. All right, we are going to watch a clip. I've been playing this today. I think it's really important. I want to thank Helena Shard and Ian Pelham-Turner from the UK. They are the royal commentators for the British royal family, and they have shared this clip, which is the Earthshot Prize. And then we will watch a music video from my vocal coach, Madeline Chan, and we'll be right back after that.
Ours is a world of wonder. Every day it reminds us of its beauty. It touches us, teaches us, and astounds us. But it also warns us that what we throw away does not go away. That higher temperatures mean a lot more than longer summers. That we can no longer take life as we know it for granted. We are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet. And never before have we had the power to do something about that.
What you give me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now. Just follow love, and love will take you there. Just follow love, follow me. Just follow love, and love will take you there. Just follow love, follow me.
and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and also welcome to our friends at Business Talk Radio. We are glad that you are here. Many thanks to Madeline Chan with Colors of the Voice. She is a voice tutor and she's also an award-winning artist. She's actually giving me vocal lessons. So we have a special program coming out, which I will talk about later. I don't want to cut into Fred and the interview that we have. So Fred is a keynote and motivational speaker. He was just sharing in our first segment about the work that he does with seniors. His attitude is a 100 plus in everything that he does. It's all about attitude. So Fred, thank you so much for being here. I want to talk a little bit, even that clip that we watched, the Earth shot, about technology. We saw somebody with a giant phone. We saw the, going to the moon. You have seen so much, and I have too, compared to people who are in their 20s and 30s and even 40s. So how have you been embracing technology and then sharing that with the seniors you meet with when you have these seminars?
Well, just like you say, you and I have seen so much, and I've talked to these other folks that, they started way back when they didn't have telephones. It was a telegraph key, and that was about where they're starting at. And I started out as my first experience with a phone was it had a cord bigger than my finger here, and it was attached to the wall, and the receiver weighed 6 tons, and you had to pick it up. And we were on a party line. You had to wait. We had 5 other neighbors on the same phone line, and you had to wait. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith. Tell me when you're through, and I'll, and all the way up to the stages to now we got these stupid little, look at that.
I know, it's amazing.
You talk in your shop there in your advertisement about Kennedy talking about going to the moon. There is 100 times more technology in this phone than there was on that spaceship. That just what we have gone through has been unbelievable. And I love electronic. Being a musician, I've had microphones and cords and speakers and amplifiers and all kinds of stuff, lighting shows, and we've seen such a boom in my lifetime from where we were back then with the old phones to now we've got these laptops. Look at this thing that's sitting in front of me. We're talking all over the world through this just because of the airways and what we've done with technology. These seniors, some of them embrace it, and I always encourage them. Learn to do things on the computer, because if you have a question, you can just get on the internet and you can just have more fun. And I tell them about, laughter is the best medicine. Just Google Bob Hope or Red Skelton or some of your favorite comedians, and you can sit there for hours and just get entertained. You can just do so much with the electronics today. Technology, cars, planes, everything. The cooking, the way they cook in the kitchen. And I've seen some of the kitchens they've upgraded in some of these senior homes with modern technology, better stoves, better ways to cook. And when we share that, and I tell these seniors, please get, they love old books. I do too. I love reading books, just regular books. I love pages. So, but I also have a Kindle, and it's magic. I got, I don't know, 100 books on my Kindle, 2 Bibles and 3 different versions. What we're in an age, and I hope I'm around for another 20 years to see what happens. My gosh. And a lot of these seniors are embracing it, and I encourage them in my seminars to do it. Look at all the magic we can do with it. It's fantastic, and I love it. And it's an attitude builder.
It sure is. Fred, I remember when I worked in my corporate role, there were some people who had been there for a very long time, and this was like their first job, and they're still there. And the company had all these upgrades with different platforms. And these people, I just remember so clearly, they were not going to learn the technology. And because they had been there, the owners were willing to look the other way. And when I sat down and talked to one of them, it was basically fear. That's what it really came down to, was fear of learning something new. And I know that you and I, I'm sure, are sympathetic on this, that's part of the fun, isn't it? Learning something new and growing.
Yeah. And the pros and cons of that is every time you're trying to do something on your computer and it says, oh, then they got to stop you for an upgrade. And then they go through this whole process. And then when you come back and you bring it back up, you almost have to relearn how to do certain things because they've made a change in it. But it is a challenge. And that challenge is what makes us progress. A friend of mine, Dean Lindsay, always talks about, all progress isn't always change, but a lot of change is progress. And it's true. It's just so fantastic. A lot of people fight change because they're afraid. And it is discouraging sometimes. Oh, I gotta learn something new. And you're right. In the corporate world, there was always upgrades. There was always new processes coming in, new things to do, new ways to do it. In salesmanship, everybody's in sales, but I've been in sales for all my life. And selling the music business. But all of the tools we have, they're always an upgrade. Even in instruments, in the piano, this piano behind me, oh my gosh, there's a 52-piece orchestra in that little piece of machinery back there that you can push one button and this orchestra comes out playing and you can play along with it. People just should embrace all of this new change because all it does is move us forward. And the more we move forward and progress, the better our attitudes are, and that makes everything better. I love the saying that Zig always says you can't do everything with a positive attitude, but having a positive attitude will allow you to do everything better than having a negative attitude. And change is part of that.
Yes. Very well said, Fred. Thank you so much. I want to talk about your book, but before we go there, I just want to talk briefly about the pandemic. So, if you watch the news during the pandemic, it was literally, you could be terrified thinking about how it was impacting seniors. And if you are a certain age, it's kind of like, oh, I can't leave the house. I can't do this. I can't do that. So when you're going and visiting seniors who are in these communities, how have they grown, or how have they been impacted by going through a pandemic? And I'm sure they've seen other things in life, not like the pandemic, but other things that they've had to go through. So have they come out stronger overall, the people that you've met, or are they sort of broken down?
Well, to be honest with you, I have not visited any of them live. Okay, I've always done everything via Zoom since last year. And but what I have seen is that they're willing to get the shot. They're willing to do whatever it takes to keep themselves safe. Most of them want to do that. And, it's like I say, it's an individual thing that they want to do. But they have gone through that. They've gone through so many challenges. A lot of them, they went through the Depression. And a lot of them they went through, earlier stages on. They went through the Korean War. They went through this. They've gone through all kinds of ups and downs. And yet they're still here and they're still moving forward. So I've seen them go through the first stages of fear and good grief. They were locked down. They couldn't even leave their rooms. And that was detrimental. I have a sister-in-law in a assisted living home. And she said it was just terrible. You couldn't do anything. Food was brought to you. And so they have progressed past that. Now a lot of them are back down. They can go down to a big TV room or theater and watch these Zoom presentations. And there's some of them are starting to do a lot of live presentations now, that people that get shots and can go there. But they have come through a lot. But I see the world has gone through a tremendous change, not just here in the United States, but it's global. And what we need is more good information, more honest information. People can make better, honest choices with all of this stuff that coming from one side and the other side. We need good information to make good decisions. And with that, the better decisions we can make, the more faster we're going to move forward through this COVID. We're going to get through it. It's going to, we went through the flu, we went through the swine flu thing, we went through all of this stuff. This has been the worst, but I know we're going to come out on the other side shining like a rose. We're going to make through it. We're going to find a solution.
Yay, I love that, Fred. Thank you for that positive energy. That's fantastic. I want to move on to your book. And I know you said you've got 7 chapters that you've written so far. How many chapters do you anticipate, and when do you think the book will be available?
When I hope to finish it by probably the end of this year, and maybe either get it published before the end of this year or launch it in January. And because I'm really excited, I love the seminar that I put together, and the PowerPoint's a lot of fun because I used 4 different examples in leadership. And one was George Washington, the other is Winston Churchill, Audie Murphy, and Captain James T. Kirk of the Enterprise. And I don't know, I have so much fun writing these types of books and attitude seminars, and just really honing in on people's attitude on whatever it is. And leadership is huge. And I went from being an electrician at a big corporation here, and I became a supervisor, and then I became a Six Sigma expert, then I became a teacher, and then I became I took care of all of the quality, some of the quality stuff that they were doing there, and for the North Texas region on their paper control and their document control. And it's been such a journey. And when you do it with a positive attitude, I don't know, it seems to propel you into different fields and keep you around a lot of positive people, and you become an example. No matter what, even as an electrician, I wanted to be the best electrician I could be. And because of that, just the people around me would say, okay, well, if he can do that, well, I can do that. So being an example makes you a leader in whatever field you are. And that's why I love this book that I'm writing, this Leadership with an Attitude. You don't have to be a boss to be a leader. You have to be a CEO to be a leader. You can be I've talked to a lot of secretaries that go in there and say, oh, I'm just an executive assistant. I don't do anything but file stuff and answer the phone. Are you kidding? When people call the company, that you're the first person they talk to. You represent the company. You are important. Every cog in this wheel is important. So I love this Leadership with an Attitude. Same with the Health with an Attitude book that I wrote. Just fantastic. And then the story behind my first book, Success with an Attitude, is really incredible. I love it.
Fred, while I have you up there on Spotlight, does the writing come very easy to you? Do you just sit down and the thoughts and the words just flow and you put them to paper?
Yes. Most of them just flow out. Some of them I have to go through. This one chapter I'm working on right now, just to redesign your attitude. Because a lot of people, I don't care what job you got. Even there were nights when I would get on stage to play in the band, you got one crazy guy out there in the audience, way back in the back in one of the little dark club or something, and he's had a little too much to drink, and he's the only guy there. And you think, oh, what am I doing this for? So you have your good days and your bad days. So every day is not just a bowl of cherries. And so a lot of jobs and positions that you're in, they get dull and they get boring sometimes. And it's up to you to motivate yourself. Another Zig Ziglar saying I love to do, because I'll tell these to everybody. So I'm here to motivate you today. I'm here to energize you, get you going, get you inspired. But I'm not going to be here tomorrow or the next day or the next week or next month to inspire you. You have to do it yourself. You have to do it. Zig would say, yeah, a lot of these people say, oh, this motivational stuff doesn't last very long. And he had the best answer. He'd say, well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So,
Fred, I love that. That is classic. I will remember that. That is really good, because you have to take care of yourself. You have to put yourself, it's like repeat until it becomes a behavior that's ingrained in you.
And that's what I encourage people to do. Every day, you have to, whatever your issues are, if it's with safety, if it's with health, whatever it is, make a list of your issues, what you do. Put it on your mirror in the bathroom. Do something every day. Get up and say those positive affirmations out loud. That changes your attitude. That changes your endorphins and your serotonin level. It creates a better attitude in you, and you become healthier. You get through things better. You have a better day. Your mood around your family, at work, whatever you do, it is better because you've created this. And I'll guarantee you, some days you get up and you think, oh, here we go again. You have to change that. It's your choice. You can make it a great day, or you can make it a miserable day. The catch is you're going to spend the same 24 hours that day, whether it's in a good mood or a bad mood, and the effect you will have on others it's incrementally huge. And you can either make a good impression and create a good attitude in other people and mentor and inspire them, or you can bring them down real fast. So it's up to you. It's your choice.
And Fred, what if a person has made the choice that they're going to be positive, they're going to have a great attitude, and then during this pandemic, people have literally been lockdowns together, and the other people don't have the great attitude. So
Yeah.
what do you do then? Because you can't actually just go leave and do whatever it is you want to do. So how do you deal with those naysayers and the negative people who are in your life?
I just keep telling them, I said, my main mantra is change your attitude, you can change your life. You can do it on a positive side, or you can do it to the negative side. It's your choice. And if you want to sit there and just be in a bad attitude, having a bad moan and groan and complain about everything, well, then that attitude has consequences, and you will reap those consequences. If you have a good attitude, well, you're going to reap the good consequences. If you plant corn, you're going to get corn. If you plant weeds, you're going to get weeds. That's it. You can take, and a lot of these naysayers, I don't care what you do. You can take a horse, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And it's got to be up to them. But sometimes you can get that little spark, and sometimes somewhere down the line, they're in a bad mood and they'll think, what did that attitude guy say about, yeah, maybe it is going to be a better day. I think I'll try that. And maybe they will. That's the only thing you can do is just try to point a direction and say, here, it's your choice. Please make the right one.
Excellent, because we can't do the work for anyone else, right?
You can't.
We can't do it.
I wish you could, but you can't.
Fred, I'm noticing in the background, you've got a ship and then you've got some plates with ships. What does that mean to you?
I love tall sailing ships. They're just, to me, they're the most beautiful creation out there. They're just beautiful. Sailing ships, and any movie or thing that has big old sailing ships. And I was lucky to go to Boston and get on the USS Constitution. And I just love that ship. And I got all of these behind us up here. And if you look over here, I have a Lego model of the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. So yeah, that's right there. You can. So
wow, did you put that together?
Oh yeah, it's my grandkids bought it for me. Oh, because Granddad's I'm been a Star Trek nut forever, and yeah, it took me forever to put that thing together. But Star Trek has been we're getting there. What do you mean? We're almost there. But yeah, I love ships of all kinds. They're just fantastic, and I love sailing ships. And,
beautiful plates there.
I would encourage everyone to take a look at the books that I do have out on Amazon. And I know this is backwards, but it's okay. It's called Health with an Attitude. And if you look it up on Amazon, it's in either Kindle or book form. And the other one I wrote is called Success with an Attitude. And it's only an ebook right now, but please, yeah, take a look at it, because a lot of these assisted living homes have bought several of these books to put in their library, because the people that have do the seminar for, they go back and refer to it. So I've been blessed by being able to share this Health with an Attitude with so many people, and I've had so much positive feedback from so many people to say, I've done what you've asked me to do, and I feel better, and the people around me feel better. And because your attitude will affect everybody else around you, negative or positive. It's fantastic. And you have said, I've listened to, I watched a whole bunch of your things you have online already, your interviews and stuff. You have such a great attitude. You have a beautiful smile. Your face, when your face lights up and your eyes light up at the same time, that means that you're in a good mood. And you can share that positive energy that you have. And it's just a delightful to talk to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And to your point about attitude, I think it was yesterday I woke up and I have facial eczema, and it's been in remission for 2 years. And now it's all back. It's all red. And it's just, yeah. And I thought, okay, I could really get myself upset, or I actually was a makeup artist. So I just thought, okay, I'll figure it out, and then let's just move forward. So.
And that attitude will help. Laughter is the best medicine. When you laugh, it releases endorphins, and your serotonin level goes up. Everything in your body starts working for you Your body has impeccable healing powers. You know, when you break a bone, the doctor sets the bone and puts it in a cast, but he doesn't heal the bone. Your body heals the bone. You get a cut, you can take care of it and doctor it, but within about 7 to 8 days, it kind of heals over. Most times you don't have a scar. We already have that if we always focus on it. Well, I was talking about my arthritis, okay? And it's not gone. It'll show up every once in a while. I don't have it like I used to. Boy, I tell you what. But I'll get a flare up in my shoulder or my wrist or my ankle, but wherever it shows up, it's not fun. It doesn't feel good, but I don't start off by saying, oh God, it's going to be a terrible day. I start talking out loud affirmations. This swelling is going to go down. This is going to be healed. This is going to go away, and it's going to get loosened up. And I start going, and pretty soon my attitude and my body starts helping myself heal just by focusing on what your issues are. Same with your eczema. It's going to go away. You're going to get better.
I totally agree with you, and thank you for that. I also have ulcerative colitis since 1991, and that's in remission, thank goodness, for 3 months. And what I did, I would just say to myself, you are getting better. I am getting better. I am getting better. And guess what? I got better. So I think that it has a lot to do with it. But we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I would love for you, I'm just putting you on the spot, I would love for you to read from your book if you would like.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Okay, fantastic. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And this time we're going to watch a clip, which I think is just so inspirational. She's an artist. Her name is ILO, I-L-O, and she is in the UK. I had her on the program. So I want to thank Licorice Dragon Records. I want to thank Tony Moore, who was on the piano, and ILO. The song is Heroes in Disguise, and then we'll be right back.
Picture this, a life where you can leave your pain, a life where you can start again somehow. Picture this, a vision that can change a prayer, happy heart that's always there in the now. So don't be afraid of fear, even though as long as we're still here, we can be anything larger than life, rise up from the ground. We can fall down over 10,000 times, then turn it all right back around. We never imagine how good life can be. Inside you and me, we can see past these ghosts in the mirror. We're heroes in disguise. Heroes in disguise. Picture this, losing everything you got, never having had a lot, but holding on and on and on. Don't be afraid to dream, 'cause we are so much closer than it seems. We can be the skies, heroes in disguise.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diane Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diane Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diane's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diane's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diane's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diane's delightful books and much more at DianeFloydBoehm.com. Visit DianeFloydBoehm.com. That's DianeFloydBoehm.com.
All right, Fred, we were both bebopping to the music.
That's some catchy theme music. I can't, get your foot tapping and get up and do some rock and roll in there. That's some good stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and also welcome our friends from Business Talk Radio. Fred has been a wealth of information on so many different levels. He is a keynote and motivational speaker, an author, and a consultant. And he is going to honor us by reading from one of his books. Fred, I'm going to spotlight you. Take it away.
Okay, well, yeah, I got a couple of things. In my Health with an Attitude book, which I'm really, I've had so much success with it, and it's doing so well on Amazon. I hope everybody goes at least takes a peek at it. Just take a look at it. And a couple of things. It's all about an attitude in your health. And I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from a couple of places here. And in chapter 3, I talk about, it says, bring yourself into the healing process. And people say, well, kind of, what do you mean by that? And I says, most every day, everyone who is reading this book has a primary physician or doctor, and they go to, and you get checkups and all that. I want to take a minute to thank every one of these wonderful medical professionals and what they do, because they're on the front line, especially during this COVID. I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but they are heroes during this COVID-19 pandemic event. They are true heroes and deserve our deepest respect and honor. Okay, let's face it, there are so many of these wonderful medical professions and that are responsible for the diagnosis, curing, and healing process of the human race. But here's what I tell people, and it's in the book. Along with these wonderful professionals, you need to bring yourself into the healing process as well. And I want to establish an irreversible reason for you to have a positive and unfailing approach and attitude towards your health healing, and well-being, because you will play a major part in your recovery, and it will be up to you and your attitude and how successfully you handle the healing of whatever health issues you're faced with. And so that's one of the, because I found out is that here's on the next page, it talks about the condition of a lot of people's health was not necessarily related to their age, but was proportionately related to the condition of their attitude. And the other thing I'd like to kind of touch base on, and it's in another chapter, and it says, change your got tos into your get tos. A lot of people go around and says, I'm going to read this to you. Have you ever found yourself really getting tired of hearing folks, including yourself, always saying, I got to do this, I got to do that, and with just about everything they do? This phrase in itself has a hidden depressing and negative meaning to it. It's like saying, oh, woe is me, I got to do this and that, which has an unpleasant ring to it. Take these statements, for instance. I got to go to work today. I got to drive in this traffic. I got to vacuum the house. I got to fix dinner. I got to walk the dog. I got to go to school. They all sound like a difficult and unlikable task that we got to do. Well, I have some good news for you. The way to change that is simply this. Instead of saying it with I got to, change your I got to's into your I get to's. I am so fortunate to have a job. Today, I get to go to work. I'm so fortunate to own a car. I get to drive in this traffic. I am so fortunate to own a home. I get to vacuum it. I'm so fortunate to have food in the refrigerator. I get to fix dinner. I'm so fortunate to have a loyal and loving dog. I get to take them for a walk. I'm so fortunate to have access to gain knowledge. I get to go to school. See the difference? Makes all the difference in the world. And we got a lot of I get to's in our lives instead of I got to's. I get to talk to JACALYN today because of this wonderful machine, this electronics and stuff. I get to tell you people out there about changing your attitude and changing your life. And I feel so fortunate and blessed to be able to do that. I get to do that. I don't got to. I get to. And that's I love it.
Right on. I totally agree with you, Fred. That is fantastic. And I can see why your book is so successful. Question I have for you. I just had this conversation with someone. What about when someone says, I'll try to do it. I'll try. This person said that she believes that that's never going to happen. If you're going to try instead of I'm going to. What are your thoughts just on that play of words, try and I'm going to?
I tell them I'll take, if I have a pencil in my hand or whatever I have, I'll throw it down on the floor. And I say, try to pick that up. And I reach over to pick it up. I said, no. I didn't say pick it up. I said, try to pick it up. What do you mean try to pick? I'm going to pick. I said, no. You reach down and they'll usually pick. I said, no. I said, try to pick it up. You picked it up. Yeah. So well, the difference in trying to pick it up and picking it up is the world of difference. And there's a click right there. Oh, I think I see what you mean. I'll try to do better.
That expression, I'll try to do better. What does that even mean?
Yeah, well, I try to do better. Well, it means a lot if you use it in context. We always learn from our mistakes. And I always tell myself, I'm going to try to be a better man. I've made so many bad decisions in the past. I've made so many mistakes in the past. I've done all of these things. But because of that, those things, by doing them and learning from them, I'm trying and learning to do a better job of being a better me. So the changing the word from I try to I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to, not I'm going to try. I'm going to do it. It's that same phrase. And if you tell yourself that, your attitude starts changing, and all of a sudden you find yourself saying, well, I'm going to try to lose weight. Well, say, I'm going to lose weight. Total difference.
Exactly, because then I feel like you're taking responsibility and accountability for it, and then it's going to happen. But otherwise, it's just out there. You're going to try this, you're going to try that. Really, you're not going to do anything, probably.
You're going to do it. There's a whole, and it makes a difference in how you accomplish things. like I said, it all depends on your attitude. If your attitude is I'm going to do it, then you'll get things done, even if it's in small, tiny steps. You got to take that first. I'm going to do it, and that's fantastic.
Well, I am going to thank you for being here and spending this Friday night hour with me and with our audience. I greatly appreciate you and respect you and all the work that you're doing. I'm going to spotlight you again and just ask you to share, how can people get in touch with you, and who would you like to reach out to you?
I have to say that again. Who would to get in
How
touch with you?
how would you like people to connect with you, people on the radio who can't read the banner, and who would you like to reach out to you?
Oh gosh, a lot of businesses out there think they're struggling, and they're really looking for people that have, that want to make their company better, and they want to please all their employees. And so I'm looking for a lot of corporations stuff to get in touch with me to do this leadership with an attitude via podcast right now. I mean, via Zoom, because it can really change the attitude of so many people that I've touched base with. Even like I said, people that mow the yard out there, they're a key factor. So businesses and corporations that want to have their employees feel better about what they do, and that they feel that their job is important. And that's one. The other one is if you can send me an email. If you can't read the banner, it is fkienle@aol.com. If you got access to LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn. I do a lot of posting and stuff on LinkedIn, and I do all kinds of articles. So please touch base there with me.
Thank you, Fred. It's been a pleasure having you. And I've met so many wonderful people from the great state of Texas that I am looking forward to. I haven't traveled really on a plane, of course not, but I'm looking forward to coming to Texas, and I'll make sure to look you up. So I think that'd be fun. And you're welcome to come back to this show or any of our other shows and share your story again.
Okay, that'd be fantastic. I'll let you know when this next book comes out, and maybe we'll get together and talk about that. Okay.
All right.
My heart goes out to you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share what I feel. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. I've learned so much from you, and I've really enjoyed this conversation. It's a shame because I love doing what I do, and I could just stay here like 24/7 and just keep going. But I've really enjoyed meeting you, and I wish you every success. And again, please do come back. I'll look forward to having you back, and we'll chat about other topics and talk about your book.
You too, because you do exactly what another Zig saying is, you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want, and that's what you're doing. And so we appreciate you, Dr. JACALYN. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, Fred, I'll see you later. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, he was delightful. What a great way to round out the week. I just love what I do. I am so privileged to have people like Fred come to our platform and grace our stage and just be able to share their passion, what it is that they're doing. And to highlight what Fred shared, attitude is really everything. I remember when I first started, I had somebody on the show, and they have a Facebook Live that they do on a regular basis. And what he shared with me was that whether or not one person or millions of people are watching, we have an obligation to always show up and do our best and respect that person. So I respect you out there for being on this journey. Again, it started last year in August. It's just I never had any idea that I'd be doing this, and it's just amazing. So thank you for watching. Thank you to our guests for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Fred, so much. And we will be back next weekend. I am on the road. I am outside the DC area, staying with family, and I want to thank my sister and brother-in-law, because they went out and bought all the equipment so that I could actually stream. So we don't have the microphone and the board and the headset like I normally would. So if the sound quality isn't exactly how it normally is, we're bringing you what we can, and I feel like it's really worked out well. So thank you to my family for getting this equipment and for providing this space for us to be able to bring this show. I look forward to seeing you Wednesday of next week. Our program is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And behind the scenes, my partners and I are working diligently doing the engineering for our launch on January 10th, when you will see all kinds of new programming. It's very exciting. And so until then, have a good weekend, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye. Bye, Fred.